Hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm Jarrell. I want to thank you for being here and spending some time with me today. It's the end of the year. There's a few hours left in 2025, and then we've got the start of a whole new year. For many of us, this feels like another year has gone past. For people past a certain age, it probably feels more melancholic than it does feel celebratory. And for people who are younger, perhaps it feels a bit more exciting. I want to tell you the story of my most memorable and my favorite New Year. And that was, and it's hard for me to track down the exact year, but I was in my early 20s. This was in the 2010s. I was in California, and it was for one of the rare moments where I got to spend a lot of time with my friends after we had finished high school. And so my friends Thomas and Derek got time off work, and they said, guys, we've got to go on a road trip. Let's go on a road trip. And so we got in our my Tacoma and we drove through California. We went up through Oregon, and I said, oh, a good buddy of mine lives in Idaho. Let's go ahead. You guys want to hang out at Buzz's place for New Year's? And they said, yeah, let's go. We drove up there. We made it up to Buzz's place. They were already having a New Year's Eve party. It was New Year's Eve there. And this is in Sandpoint, Idaho. And it was cold, and we had thermals and we had ski clothes. And as soon as we got there, this is way, way up in the mountains, and we drive through the dirt roads, and it's not paved, don't freak out. My friends had never been to a place like this before. And this is, in the country, and we're going through dirt roads. There's no street lamps or anything like that. And we see a little, driveway light, and we pull through, and there's just towering trees all around us. We pull into the driveway, and Buzz and his friends that were his family there, and there's family that you're born with, and there's family that you gain later on in life because you choose for these people to be your family. You're not related, but they're your family anyway. And we're there, and they hand us drinks. They hand us drinks in plastic red cups. We don't even know what's in it, but they said, here, grab this, there's your drink. They said, we're heading out on the UTV, and with a little vehicle that they use to drive around the mountain and carry tools around. And we look at each other, and my friends had never spent time in Idaho before, but I had friends there that are family to me, and I said, yeah, let's do it. So we grabbed our little plastic red cups with whatever alcoholic beverage was in there. We hopped on the back of the UTV, and they'd rigged up a sled onto the back of the UTV, a trailer, if you will. It's a trailer, it had wheels. And we drove away. We left that yellow warm light of the driveway floodlight, and we just went up through the snow and up through the mountains, and we're climbing, and the only light there is the silver moonlight, and the snow coming down was magical. It felt like we were in a snow globe. I had never seen snow fall so thick and heavy before, and it's swirling all around us. And I'm here with two of my childhood buddies that never spent time out of, California. We were country boys is what it was. And we grew up in the fog and the heat of California. They had never been to Idaho. So we're looking at us, and they're going like, are you serious? This is wild, So we're hooting and hollering, and we've got our drinks, and we're trying to hang on to this trailer, and we're going up and down hills, and it's a rough ride, and they're driving the UTV, and everyone just hooting, and we're having the greatest time. Maybe we were out there an hour or so, just the snow swirling all around us, and it's glowing, it's glittering in the moonlight. The silver light all around us lights up the snow, and as our eyes adjusted to it, it felt like we were in a dream. We had never done anything like that before. Got back to the house, and it wasn't right on midnight yet, but we hung out in Buzz's beautiful house. Teak. They had a feature wall that was teak and beautiful hardwood floor and a pool table. Rustic decorations hanging up on the walls, horseshoes, a wall full of old VHS tapes, country music playing in the background. And it was just warm in there, and I loved going out to the woodshed and carrying wood up and loading up the little fireplace there and keeping the house warm. I really love that. And just hanging out with my buddies, and as it got to midnight, they handed us guns. And we stepped outside and said, what do we do with these? And they said, oh, well, it's New Year's, fire it into the air. And I'm looking at my buds, they're kind of like, are you serious right now? We've never done anything like that, And I just had to laugh, and I said, okay, yeah, you do it, man. And it went New Year's, clock struck 12, and we're hooting in a hollow, and we're shooting guns up in the air, and we're having a great time. And this is way up in the mountains. This is not a densely populated area. It's a proper mountain. And I just remember that, what a cool memory. And that sense of adventure stuck with me, and that's something that I carry with me, is that, yeah, okay, I'm sitting at a desk to do my work. I chose to make games for a living, and it's very much at a desk, but there's a part of my heart that has never left that moment, and I keep that moment with me, and it's something very, very special to me. I think some people really get a kick out of the various mugs that I have here on the channel. I collect mugs because I think they're neat. I'll explain to you why I have the mugs. I used to never collect mugs. It didn't matter to me. I didn't care. And this mug that I've got here, I really only drink out of this once or twice a year. But this is my most important mug. And this belonged to Buzz, my friend, who lived up in Idaho. This was his coffee mug, and every morning he'd sit on the back porch and have his coffee out of this mug. And he passed away in 2016, and it was very, very difficult for me. I struggled with it terribly. And I didn't have the life experience, I didn't have the coping mechanisms to be able to deal with that loss. And it was a situation I'd heard he wasn't well, and I'd rushed back to spend some time with him, and I thought, he's well enough, we'll get to go on some last adventures, some road trips. But by the time my plane landed and I got to his place, it didn't turn out that way, and he died in my arms, and it was shocking, and that stuck with me. And I want to find a way to stay positive, to at least inspire other people with a sense of adventure and excitement and a passion and a love for life, because that is what Buzz shared with me, was a sense of adventure, passion, and excitement. And I took his mug home with me, and for about 2 years, this is the only mug that I used. I used it to feel close to him, to remember him. But it got to a point where I thought I need to find a way to move forward positively with my life. So I stopped using the mug, and I thought, well, I'm my own man, I'm an adult, I should have my own mug now. And it was symbolic, no longer using this mug every day, and I got myself the Pokeball mug, and I thought, well, this is something that I like, this is me. And that's a massive mug. You'll have too much coffee if you drink out of the Pokeball mug. And so I got that. And I thought, I may as well have fun with it. I'll explore and I'll see what else, what else is me, and I found cool mugs that were just fun and interesting. And it was a way for me to build a bridge forward in a positive way, in a fun way, and to not let the past weigh me down, to not let the difficulty and hardships and the struggles of life, to not let that make me into a worse person, to not let it make me into an angry or negative person. So the mugs to me are a reminder to stay positive, to build a bridge forward despite life's many struggles and losses. And I think it's fair to have a coffee on New Year's to celebrate my friend and to think of him. And it's been a difficult year. I've lost a number of friends this past year. Not everyone made it to the finish line. Some people complain and say, oh, it's another year. If you make it to the end of the year, if you cross the finish line, you should be grateful, because not everyone makes it. And it is quite difficult. A friend of mine, the last time I saw him, he gave me this die-cast Mercedes-Benz. He pointed to his display stand, and we kind of knew it was going to be the last time we saw each other. It was earlier this year. And he had cancer. And he was very much into vintage cars. He was of an age. He made it right to 80 before he passed, but he pointed at the shelf and he said, well, do you want to take one of those as, sort of remembrance, a souvenir? And I said, yeah, okay, I'd like that. He says, which one do you want? I said, you pick for me. You know, I don't understand vintage cars. And, you know, he gave me this one. He said, yeah, put that on the shelf, and when people look at it, tell them you got it from some old guy that you used to know. So I got this from an old guy that I used to know, and it's tough. You know, sometimes I'll open my phone, and just without even thinking about it, I'll scroll down to the contact, and I think, oh, I'll send a message. And then you sort of, you know, you think about it for a second, and you think, oh, shit. And in a way, it's interesting because I haven't removed the contact numbers for my friends that have passed away, and I should. And it's so weird that I haven't deleted their contact numbers, but they're still in my phone. I don't know. You know, we all move forward in some way, but there's a part of us that stays with the past. And I want to ask you, it's the end of the year, it's 2025, another year of our lives has gone by, and I hope it's been a good year for you. For many of us, it hasn't been a great year. But what do you want to do with the rest of your life? What do you intend to do with the rest of your life? I know what I want to do. I think of my friends that I've had to leave behind that are no longer here. I think about what a great time I've had with them, that they shared with me positive memories, stuff that really inspire me to do my best, to keep going, to keep trying. And so I'll tell you what I want to do for the rest of my life. My goals are very simple. I want to be a good man. I want to be a source of strength and support for other people. I want to be a good friend. I want to push my abilities, my knowledge, as far as those can go. I want to find the very limits of my abilities, and then I want to find a way to push past those limits so I can become the best that I can be, whatever it comes to. When it comes to playing music, composing, creating art, developing video games, writing stories, it doesn't matter what it is. I want to push my abilities as far as they can go. I want to find the limits, then push past that. I want to climb the highest mountain that I possibly can. I want to plant a flag at the top of that mountain, and I want to point to other people and say, look, that is how far I've gotten. Now you do better. You go higher. I want to inspire other people. I want to bring something positive to people. And I want to try to make other people's lives better in some way. I'll tell you what I don't care about. I don't care about subscriber counts. I don't care about view counts on videos. I don't care about fame or popularity. I think there have been people who have gotten frustrated with me over the internet because I'm not running my channel in a way that a proper YouTuber would, and that a proper YouTuber should do what it takes to raise your subscriber count and to increase your view counts. And I think people have gotten frustrated because I don't run the channel that way, because that's not what I care about. I care about bringing something positive to people. And I want to help people with game development and art. Mostly I want to chill with you guys, you know, just have a bit of fun and relax for a little while. That's what I want to do with my life. I'm going to spend the rest of my life striving to be a good man and to be a good, supportive friend to other people. I don't care about fame or popularity. Those who crave power will always abuse it. And that's just how it is. There's no two ways around it. I have no interest in those things. They are not part of what I care about. They aren't my goals. My goals are to be a good man and a good friend. So that's what I'm going to strive to do. That's what I'm going to spend the rest of the year doing. I want to create as much as I can during my lifetime, because there'll be one day where I won't make it to the finish line, and neither will you. So let's go ahead and be appreciative that we've all made it to the finish line for 2025. I hope you have a great new year, the 2026. I hope it's fantastic for you. I wish you all the very best. Please take care of yourselves. Be well. I'm going to play us out with a little bit of music, and I hope you sing along. Should old acquaintance be forgot, I never brought to mind Should old acquaintance be forgot, and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet, and days of old lang syne. Happy New Year. I wish you all the best for 2026. Take care of yourselves and be well.